he's underappreciated in Chicago. I mean, he's not getting the credit he deserves. That you can look at that roster, the trades they've made in recent years. He's had that team overachieve based on what they have. They have one of the worst rosters in the NBA.
Especially now, they gutted it.
Yeah, they've traded every, I think, first-round pick they've had in recent years. I mean, Josh Giddey is great. Mattis Buzelis is great. But otherwise, this is a team that is going to rival the Sacramento Kings for being the worst in the NBA if they didn't have Billy Donovan. So he's losing 50, 60 games a year and can still coach at an elite level. There have been people from what I've heard around him who have said, listen, while you still have the energy left to coach, you should get out of there. I don't think he's going to get another NBA job after this season. He just signed an extension with the Bulls. So if you're Billy Donovan and you want to go out on a high note in your career, guarantee, he's already a Hall of Famer, but guarantee you're considered in that upper echelon of coaches that people talk about forever. Why not go back to a storied program, build another top college basketball program into a national championship contender, and go out on a high note? I mean, he would kind of be going out on a whimper with Chicago. He should be one of the first calls that North Carolina makes, especially since they're not looking internally here. They looked at Brad Stevens, no interest in coming back and coaching. Tommy Lloyd is an interesting one at Arizona. I could see that happening.
I could too.
He had some kind of vague answers when he talked about it, which you read between the lines, and it's like, this is a guy who could be open to it.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting stat that since 1999, no team out west has won the national championship. Maybe if Arizona does that, Tommy Lloyd stays there. But if not, maybe he wants to come back to a program that is a little bit more well-equipped right now. He's going to lose a lot of talent to the NBA draft after this season. So if Tommy Lloyd or Brad Stevens say no to the job, Billy Donovan should be number one on their list.
The other thing in coaching that just fascinates me is Will Wade.
Oh, man.
LSU is a very interesting place. I'll just say that, and you can put between the lines what you will. They have basically said, remember the old song, Welcome Back, all right, by John Sebastian? Welcome back, Will. We had to fire you because of NCAA issues, but please come back and coach our team because, after all, you did lead us to the NCAA tournament. What is that?
He was ahead of the curve, right? He was caught on a wiretap, right?
Yes.
And a lot of what he was doing, paying players, is so legal now that he probably feels a little bit miffed. But for Will Wade, LSU kind of threw him under the bus a little bit.
Yes, but didn't he deserve it?
Yeah, he deserved. I mean, you can throw someone on the bus and they can deserve it. It doesn't mean you didn't throw him under the bus.
True.
I mean, he did deserve what happened to him. And the way he has rebuilt himself, going to McNeese State, and then just spending 1 year at NC State. I mean, what my opinion about it was, I hear people complain so much about the transfer portal. And if you're an NC State fan and you get Will Wade for 1 year and then he leaves you to go back to the program that threw him under the bus, how are you going to sit there and then say, oh, well, screw this player if they leave my program after 1 year? Because coaches can do it now too. And I know that's kind of a little bit of a lazy argument. It's apples to oranges in a sense. But Will Wade going back to LSU and spurning a program in NC State, which you could make an argument for, is a little bit better position right now than LSU. I guess LSU is going to make a significant increase in NIL, and I don't know where they're getting the money from in Baton Rouge. There must be.
It all went to football, didn't it?
Yeah, must be a lot of children's hospitals out there. But I feel bad for Matt McMahon, especially in this situation. Remember, Matt McMahon was coaching against Todd Golden 4 years ago in the NCAA tournament. Matt McMahon gets hired by LSU, and they had one of the lowest NIL budgets. All of it was going to football, and women's basketball getting a ton of money there, and baseball, obviously.
Yep.
Matt McMahon was expected to win like Todd Golden when he had about half the resources. And now he didn't achieve the results, certainly, but he kind of is in this waiting game where he's still the coach while they're trying to lure in another coach before firing him. And he still hasn't been fired as we're sitting here talking.
Right.
It's expected that imminently they're going to part ways with him and Will Wade is going to be finalized. And they're hiring Heath Schroyer back, the McNeese State AD. But if you're Matt McMahon, you have to sit here and be like, why is he getting more resources than me, a guy that you threw under the bus?
Yeah.
Why am I waiting for you all to hire him? what am I doing here? I feel bad for him. It's just a weird situation.
Daryl says, how about the Vanderbilt coach?
So Mark Byington was one of the names that was thrown out there as a potential UNC candidate. I think that would be fascinating. I think he did a fantastic job. I think that you could have made a case if Todd Golden didn't have the season he had. And I understand that Bucky McMillan was in the conversation as well. But Mark Byington was right there in that top 3 of SEC Coach of the Year candidates in my mind. The job he did in Nashville this season was fantastic.
Yep.
Came over from JMU a couple years ago. If I'm UNC, that's a really safe hire. Now, that's not the splash hire. But the Billy Donovans and the Tommy Lloyds and the Brad Stevenses are the splash hires. But if you want to make a safe hire who you know is going to be successful with your resources, Mark Byington is near the top of the list in my mind.
No doubt. We'll come back, and when we do, Boogie Flynn has announced he's returning to Florida. Not a surprise.
Not a surprise, no.
But I think that's going to help him. That's going to help Florida. So one block returns. We will take a break. By the way, did anybody notice the Major League Baseball season started yesterday? Tony Vitello makes his debut. His team gets shut out. We'll talk about that, whatever else you want to talk about here on Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Morgan Erskowski. Florida softball chomped down on Stetson last night. The Gators won 3-2 with standout catcher Jocelyn Erickson going 3 for 3. Erickson credits her teammate Taylor Shoemaker to their success.
It's fun hitting behind Tay. I mean, our whole lineup is legit, so I know any of us can get it done. But me and her, we got some juju going. Before the plate, we always talk a little bit to each other before she goes out, so it's fun.
Florida softball is back on the field this Friday against Arkansas with coverage starting at 6:40. Florida baseball is looking to redeem themselves. The Gators will travel to Fayetteville to face number 4 Arkansas after they were swept by Alabama last weekend. Coverage starts Friday at 6:55 on WRUF. Florida football is back. Today, 13 Gators stars will showcase their skills to NFL scouts in Florida's 2026 Pro Day.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida, and now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their Philly sub with fries, thinly sliced beef cooked to perfection and topped with peppers, onions and mushrooms, and provolone cheese on a baguette.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
Gator Baseball plays here. WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Coming to you live from the Gator Trimlight Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency and sponsored in our first hour by Quality Plumbing. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Graham Hall and Swamp 247 Sports here. I'll be here till about 12:30. He will take over for the rest of the time. I will talk to you tomorrow, technology willing, from Fayetteville, where we get ready for Gator baseball and softball. Let's get to an International Diamond Center email. He talks about an interview that Lagway did with Matt Hayes of USA Today, friend of our show here. Mark sent this quote, Graham. I was in a bubble down there. I didn't feel like a normal person. I didn't even know what the campus looked like. I was really closed off. I didn't really hang out with my teammates. Yeah, I was depressed. I just stayed in my own lane, stayed out of the way. Let's say he's being sincere. Does that surprise you? Why or why not?
It doesn't surprise me. It's a little bit disappointing. UF's a beautiful campus, man. You know it. You're here every day.
Yep.
To not want to soak in the college experience and be out there and meet the fans, that just saddens me. I get it, because he was treated and put on a pedestal from arriving as an 18-year-old. So I get why some people aren't going to embrace that, especially if you are dealing with an injury and are afraid of failure and all these things. So I get it, but it saddens me. This is a beautiful campus. I think Shannon Snell put out this tweet where he said, Tim Tebow was able to do this. Tim Tebow, who was considered a god in Gainesville, was out among students. He had to change his number multiple times, but it didn't stop him from going to class. And yeah, online classes weren't what they were 18 years ago, but he was still out there. And it just made me sad. But my other reaction was, and I guess this is a little bit maybe controversial, was that it rubbed me the wrong way. Because as a media member, I almost felt like we were gaslit a little bit, because they were protecting DJ Lagway, and I think that's noble. But we were told time and time again that the shoulder injury is nothing. He'll be good by the start of the season. This isn't going to negatively impact his development. And Billy Napier changed his tune around September and October when they couldn't hide anymore the reality. But for a long time, anyone who questioned that this was a significant thing for DJ was called a downer, was called negative, was criticized. And now he comes out after the fact and says, I was, depressed. I wasn't able to play. I had a core injury in March. It really kind of felt like I was angered as a media member, but I was also angry for fans because they were led astray into thinking that everything was going to be fine. Their expectations were high. They didn't manage expectations for the fans well enough. And then they were angry when the season rolled around and it became abundantly clear that everything was not okay.
Look, people have different personalities, right? Some are shy, some aren't. DJ does not seem a gregarious type. I don't think that word would be used to describe him.
No.
And even if you are depressed, in quotes, even if you can't play, you're being, quote, protected, unquote, it doesn't mean you can't enjoy the campus. It doesn't mean you can't go to class and talk to your fellow students. That I don't understand. I mean, the other part of it, okay, but you're your own worst enemy if you continue to do that. And I don't know if the coaches told him or he let them do it, but they put this cocoon around him, and it hurt his development, it hurt his personality, and it ended up turning Gator fans who were chanting his name in the stadium to get this guy the heck out of Dodge. It's just sad for him, and I hope he does okay at Baylor. I mean, he's a good kid. I can remember this. There's a record store in town. I went to it. I walk in there, and DJ Lag was in there, and he's with a camera crew. And so he looked at me, and he nodded, and I nodded. And so I went up to the guy. I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, he's doing a thing. He's visiting all the stores here." So he got out. But he was paid for it. But, I mean, he did get out, but he wasn't among, he was protected. People weren't allowed, he was just photographed going through records or going through clothes. So, yeah, I feel bad for him. Let's get to Woody here. Woody, hello.
Yeah, hey, guys, I got a similar reaction to that article. I figure any negative connotation should be aimed at DJ and Coach Napier. They're the ones in charge. He could have easily gone out to eat with his teammates and spent more time on campus, whatever. So they were the ones in charge. So I hope it doesn't reflect on the University of Florida at all. They made their choices. Now we've moved on. I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about these coaching openings. Let's just say that Kansas comes open because Coach Self decides that his health.
Yep, going to retire.
Him from doing this. Yeah, so let's say Kansas and North Carolina are open. Do you think this might be the time when Mark Few or some other surprise candidate, Mark Few might make a jump finally? For a while he had a special needs child and he wanted to stay where he was in Spokane. Could he be a candidate, or a Gino Auriemma? Is there a surprise candidate out there? Because I hear everyone sort of recycling the obvious. And which, Billy Donovan is kind of the obvious around here, at least. I just wonder if you guys have any thoughts on that, a surprise possibility. Got to be a big name, I think, for both of these programs.
Mark Few would surprise me if he left Gonzaga. He's been there since before I was born. He's been there since, 1988, something like that. He was a GA, and I don't know if it'll ever happen for him. That could be the driving factor. Will he ever win a championship at Gonzaga? And he's in his early 60s, so maybe kind of similar situation to Billy Donovan. He's looking for a place to end his career where he can cement himself as an elite coach. I mean, he's made 27 straight conference tournaments out there, but it's the WCC, so maybe you can pry him away, and you don't need to hire the next Todd Golden in a sense where you're looking for a guy who's going to be your coach for 30 years. Mark Few can do it for 10 more years and get you there. I just have a hard time seeing him leave Gonzaga. Now, not to say it can't happen, and there are certainly a lot of other young coaches out there that they may choose to go in that direction, but I would put Mark Few in that safe category with Byington, in a sense.
Here's the other thing, too, and we got to do this real quick. Because it's North Carolina, right? If they were to hire, I don't know, I'm going to just name a school, the coach at a mid-major or a Division I lower tier school, their fans would go apoplectic. I just, unless it's somebody that's been ultra successful where they have been. That's why I don't know about a surprise candidate. I think they're looking for a name that has a proven commodity, because they don't want to wait to win. They want to win now.
Yeah, that's why I was saying the more successful surprise candidates, not the up-and-comers.
Yeah.
And real quick, I just wanted to say, with these jobs coming opening, players leave. And so I was wondering if you guys see any players, especially at North Carolina, maybe possibly Kansas, that might be good candidates to fill out the Gator roster, because I'm a bit of a vulture when I see coaching changes.
I'll throw one out there. Deedon Thomas Jr. at LSU. He's entering the portal when it opens on April 7th. He was between Florida and UNLV out of high school. He chose UNLV, former 5-star guard, led LSU in scoring this year. I would imagine he wants to stay in the SEC. He knows Todd Golden and the coaching staff extremely well. He would be expensive, but Florida has a starting guard vacancy. Even bringing back Boogie Fland, they have to replace Xavier Lee. Do they try and do a similar situation to Ruben Chinyelu where they didn't get him out of high school? Now he enters the portal. They could get him the second time around when he's developed a little more. Is Florida going to be a player for Deaton Thomas Jr.? That's the one that I'm watching right now.
Woody, appreciate your call. Thank you. We got to run through these quick. We've got a text here. George, with Pro Day happening, who do you think will be drafted in the first 2 days?
Devin Moore, probably, for Florida. I think Caleb Banks is too good of a prospect to let him slip out of the third round.
I agree.
And then I think Jake Slaughter.
Yep. David, how was the attendance from NFL teams at Pro Day? And then what would you consider a successful weekend for Gator baseball? Is it bad to think winning just one is okay? Bad. It's hard to win on the road. It's hard to win a series on the road. So if you win one, is it what you want? No, but you just don't want to get swept. And if you get two on the road, man, cherry on top.
Yeah. If they can win one, that would be great.
Successful weekend for Gator baseball, yep. And how was the attendance for NFL teams?
68 scouts, all 32 NFL teams were there. That's not something every school can say. So getting every single organization in attendance is fantastic.
YouTube question, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Jim, hiring Wade makes LSU competitive at this point. SEC is way better than it was when he was there, and it's legal to do what he got in trouble for. This is two coaches LSU's hired in less than ethical ways. If either coach fails, it's going to be a fallout of surreal proportions. Facebook Live question, courtesy of Roosevelt State Farm. Ryan, any correlation to a quick Boogie return announcement relating to a guarantee Golden is sticking around?
Yeah, I don't think Golden's going anywhere. I mean, Scott Strickland came out and pretty much said as much.
Yeah.
Good luck to all those other schools hiring coaches. Todd Golden's not going anywhere.
And if you try, I'll make sure he doesn't.
Yeah. And they got to pay him competitively. He's already a top 5 paid head coach. That should go up to top 3 in my opinion.
Okay. I think that, quickly, Chris, email here, National Diamond Center email. Thoroughly enjoyed the Giants and Tony Vitello getting waxed last night. Normally pull against the Yanks, but as a Dodger and Gator fan, I'll be pulling against the Giants and Vitello every game this year. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget, Graham's still here. Talk to him, email, call, whatever. I will talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget, Hoop There It Is tomorrow, our final one. Mark will join me at noon, and then we'll do Sports Scene from Fayetteville tomorrow from 1 to 2. You're listening to Sports Scene coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The commitment from IDC to first responders is really extraordinary.
Veteran firefighter Johnny Hinton talks about International Diamond Center's ongoing support for our heroes in uniform.
IDC has helped us raise just massive amounts of money.
Johnny says in addition to corporate gifts to support charity fundraisers, IDC is there every day, helping first responders with an extra 15% discount on any purchase.
Again, thank you guys so much.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win. There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parrish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
In the heart of Gator Country, some things are built to last. Traditions, family, and real wood furniture. At Wood U Furniture, we believe furniture should be more than something you replace every few years. It should be something you pass down, built to last generations. Choose beautifully finished pieces or ready-to-finish furniture you can make your own. Wood U Furniture. Real wood, real quality, right here in our community. Come visit our new showroom on Main Street, just north of our previous location, or online at woodugainesville.com.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. I'm Graham Hall. Appreciate you sticking around with us. Steve Russell is headed to Fayetteville, as are the Gators baseball and softball teams. Looking to not get swept again this weekend. Baseball, at least. 1 would be great. 2 would be fantastic. 3 would be immaculate. Appreciate all of our sponsors for sponsoring this show. Fueled by Southeast Car Agency, as you all know. And we're broadcasting live from the Gator Trimlight studio. Everyone knows Gator Trimlight is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. You can text us at 352-325-3777. Text line is brought to you by B&D Electric, professional, reliable electrical service you can trust. Schedule at bdelectric.com. Boogie Fland coming back to Gainesville for his junior season. I know that there were some people out there who were a little disappointed by Boogie's season, and I'm sure he would agree that his shooting numbers were not as good as they needed to be, and he had big shoes to fill. An honorable endeavor to replace outgoing NBA draft picks in Walter Clayton, Will Richard, Elijah Martin. It's never easy. But Boogie didn't shoot as well this year as he did a year ago at Arkansas, which may have helped Florida get him back for his junior season rather than him testing the NBA draft waters once again. That certainly was a possibility. I know 10 years ago you could only test them a couple of times. Or you test them once. Now you can test them a couple of times. He can go through the process as many times as he likes. And that can't hurt you whatsoever. We talked on Tuesday about I would expect all of their starters to at least test. Now that's not happening with Fland. But it really is in their best interest to get feedback, go through the process, come back if they don't like where their stock is. We'll see what happens with Thomas Houck and Alex Condon. Our phone lines are open, sponsored by Titan MRI and Imaging. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City. 352-392-8255 is the number to call. Been getting a lot of questions on Facebook Live, sponsored by Ruse-Ogre State Farm. And on YouTube, sponsored by Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Steven Spurrier proudly banks. Campus USA was founded on UF campus and has been serving our community for 90 years. Pro Day is going on right now in Gainesville. We talked about this. Nearly 70 scouts in attendance. Now, I got to say, that's not the most in the state of Florida. There were over 100 scouts, apparently, at Miami. Now, that's not necessarily an indictment of Florida, even though I don't need to indict them. They're coming off a 4-8 season. Everyone knows how it went. But Florida is still going to be well represented in the NFL draft. I would expect anywhere from 7 to 9 former Florida players to be drafted in April. And a lot of them were down in Miami, the scouts were, because they have to get official measurements. That's one of the things that is so critical on Pro Day is that, and I'm not going to take a shot here, but I got to just say the truth. All those measurables you see listed on an athletic department website, they're not always accurate. That's just how it is, especially with basketball. I remember Ruben Chinyelu, if you ask him, he will swear to you up and down that he is 6'11". Unfortunately, he is listed at 6'10". But that's not as egregious as this one. It's not just 13 Gators who are going through Pro Day. There is a former Jacksonville University basketball player going through Pro Day as well, Jalen Jordan. He's listed at 6'8" on Jacksonville's website. He's trying to be a tight end in the NFL. He shows up today in Gainesville and gets measured. What do you think he measures in at? 6'5"? Very good guess. 6'5" and 3/8 of an inch. More than 2 inches off of his weight. Now, as a basketball player, I guess that's understandable because maybe they're measuring them in high tops, right? What's the weight that they're in, the height that they're going to be when they're out there on the court? So I guess I understand that, but if you were an NFL team thinking that you were going to draft a 6'8" guy, you show up here in Gainesville today and he measures in at 6'5", you were in for a rude awakening. But I guess you should have seen it coming. There's already a stereotype out there that us men are lying about our heights out there. Now it's being reinforced through the NFL draft and through Pro Day. It's not good. It's not good. Got a lot of comments coming in here. James on YouTube, sponsored by, again, Campus USA Credit Union, says, I think part of DJ's problem is he's been too protected ever since high school. But honestly, why would you even put that article out? Just move on and show it on the field. Maybe he is a homebody, and there's nothing wrong with that, unless it messes with your mental health. He probably is too protected. He's got a PR team. He was in Gatorade commercials with Pat Mahomes. He had that DJ's Burger here. He had a lot of opportunities in Gainesville especially. And let's be honest, his stock has taken a hit. I'm not talking about his draft stock. I'm talking about his reputation stock. And as a marketable figure, I don't think he's going to be doing any Gatorade commercials in spring. Has taken a hit in the last year. And so I understand them trying to drum up some sympathy for him. But like I said to Steve here about 20 minutes ago, it just saddens me that he took only online classes and didn't go out and meet people around town. And I get that sometimes it can be tough for an athlete to meet fans because they see you as this player and they have expectations for you. But so many people leave college, athletes especially, but just regular college students, they leave college, and in 10 years they look back and say, those are the best years of my life. If you're spending all of them in an apartment, taking online classes, afraid to meet people, or even only at the football facility, you are missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To be a quarterback, obviously, at a school is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but you're missing a critical part of that experience by not going out and making friends and meeting people. I'm not saying you got to be like a Rex Grossman at Midtown 3 times a week. If that's not you, fine. But at least go make some friends. And I'm sure he had a ton of friends. So that it saddened me a little bit. JP says, Graham, can you talk about the upcoming days for declaring for the NBA draft and portal? When can we know who's coming back for next year? And are there any other portal guys you think might be a good fit? Great question, JP. That is happening this week. Exit meetings are ongoing in Gainesville. We talked about this on Tuesday. I expected them to happen later in the week after they had decompressed from the loss to Iowa. They figure out who is coming back, who they want to bring back, and who's going to have to head elsewhere. And then in this day and age, once they know who intends to come back, or maybe they're doing it a good bit beforehand, it's probably up to each player, and each situation is different. But after they've announced their intention, the next part is the most critical. Figuring out what it's going to cost in NIL money to bring them back, which is why Boogie Fland, he didn't give his interview today to the Gainesville Sun or to 247 Sports and On3. No, if you want to read Boogie Fland's comments, you go to Florida Victorious, which makes a ton of sense. They do a great job over there, no bias. But that's just this day and age. You have to work it out with the team first, and you have to work it out with the NIL collective, So the upcoming days, we'll find out who is heading to the portal. Over the next 10 days, those decisions are going to be made. They will announce them publicly before they happen. The portal opens April 7th, the day after the national championship game. Florida has more time than they did a year ago when the portal was already open while they were playing, so that should be in their advantage rather than being behind the 8 ball a little bit last year. And then with guys announcing in the portal, they'll have an idea of who they're going after. But let me be completely honest. The scouting for the portal has been happening for months. You have to know, I think January is already kind of late. You have to look at guys at midget major programs and players like Deaton Thomas who are standouts in the SEC, but there could be a coaching change or their team underachieves, and then you have a little bit of a better opportunity to offer them. You have to be looking at players and assessing them and evaluating them months ago. That's how it happened with Micah Handlogton when he was at Marshall. I mean, he wasn't a guy who just entered the portal and then Florida was like, oh, we got to go get this guy. Like, look at him, 7'1". No, they were on him months in advance. Like assessing him. I'm not saying tampering-wise, but I'm saying they were looking at him and saying, this is a guy who's a Power 5 guy at Marshall. We have a vacancy at center. He would be a great fit for us. Any other portal guys I think might be a good fit? That is a tough question. I have not looked a lot at the portal yet. I threw out Deaton Thomas because he just makes a ton of sense. There's the Florida tie as well. There's obviously a couple other guys out there with Florida ties. I mean, I don't think you're going to go get a guy like, Flory Badunga at Kansas, even though Florida offered him. I mean, that's a guy who's going to be headed to the NBA draft. So you probably have to go for someone who is looking kind of like a Boogie Fland type situation with Thomas, is looking to come back to a college team for one more year, improve their stock, make it to the NBA draft, and you can do that at your program. So we will find out here pretty soon what Florida is going to do. We're going to take this last break of the hour. Appreciate Quality Plumbing for sponsoring this first hour of the show. Sports Scene, fueled by Southeast Car Agency. We'll be right back after this break. You're listening on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Mason Antueda. Gator softball defeated the Stetson Hatters last night with a close 3-2 victory. Here's Sky LeBron's call on Learfield.
Stetson down to its final strike. And that punches her out. A hard, zipping fastball on the outside edge will end the day for the Hatters as they fall to Florida 3-2.
Pro Day is underway at UF as 13 Gators aim to make their final impressions with NFL scouts. Similar to the Combine, Pro Day will give Gators a chance to show their skills in a variety of skill and positional drills. Florida baseball will also head to Fayetteville as they begin their series with the 4th-ranked Razorbacks tomorrow night. The Gators are coming off Tuesday's 5-0 win over FSU. Catch tomorrow's action here on WRUF with coverage starting at 7 p.m.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
We sell more so you save more at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, $349 per month. New Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon, $239 per month. Plus, we'll beat any price from the Villages to Lake City to Jacksonville and everywhere in between at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing, plus tax tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to lender approval. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
That's the buzzer. And on Hard Rock Bet, buzzer beaters mean bonus bets. Every time a team you bet to win or cover hits a game-winning buzzer beater, you score a $25 bonus bet, an extra $25 on top of your winnings. Just opt in and bet $5 on any team. As many teams as you want, all tourney. Win bonus bets at the buzzer, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
From the UF WRUF Weather Center. Here is your WRUF weather update.
Staying pleasant this afternoon through the evening. We'll start out in the mid-80s around dinner time, but we'll slowly decline to the lower 60s by daybreak tomorrow. Mostly clear skies for us overnight. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, and temperatures heating up. Highs in the upper 80s across interior north central Florida. But that heat will be short-lived. A front approaches on Saturday, becoming breezy. High Saturday near 80. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene, brought to you by Southeast Car Agency. I am Graham Hall of 247 Sports. Steve Russell headed up to Fayetteville. Florida baseball and Florida softball with a big weekend against those Razorbacks. We're talking Boogie Fland, Pro Day, Will Wade, whatever you want out there. Appreciate Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of this show. You can email, text, reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube. Ask us whatever you want, whatever is on your mind, as long as it's sports related. If it's not, we'll still talk about it. No problem with me. Facebook Live questions brought to you by Ruse Agra State Farm. Ruse Agra is your go-to agent in Gainesville in North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. YouTube questions brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Stephen Orr Spurrier proudly banks. Campus USA was founded on UF campus as it's been serving our community for 90 years. Phone lines are open. 392-8255 is the number to call. Brought to you by Titan MRI and Imaging. Call them for the best MRI and affordable prices. TitanMRI.com. And our emails brought to you by International Diamond Center. IDC carries an assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, and fine jewelry. The official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Got a lot of questions today. We're talking Boogie Fland, Deedon Thomas. Facebook question from Jimmy says, was Deedon the one that his parents scared him away from us, or was that someone else? I don't think so. I think that there were a lot of factors working in Florida's favor in his recruitment and a lot working in UNLV's favor. His dad, Deedon Thomas Sr., easy name to remember, played at UNLV in the 80s. So following his dad's footsteps, familiar with the program, makes a ton of sense. But you know who else's dad played at UNLV? Torian Green's. His dad, Sidney Green, played for UNLV a decade before Deedon Thomas Sr. played there. Deedon Thomas Sr. played there in 1991. Didn't mean to age him like that. Torian's father played there from 1979 to 1983. Todd Golden met Deedon when Todd was still at San Francisco. Then he comes to Florida. It's an attractive opportunity, and it was UNLV in Florida right there for him. He goes to UNLV, then transfers to LSU. So now in the SEC, I doubt he's returning to UNLV. No disrespect to that program, but he's not going back from LSU to UNLV. If he wants to stay in the SEC, just makes a ton of sense for Florida, in my opinion. But Will Wade is headed back to Baton Rouge. So who knows what will happen there? Is Will going to try and keep Deedon in the fold, or is he going to try and bring some of his NC State players, or is he going to try and spend that $10 million plus money that LSU is going to get in NIL to try and turn that program from one of the bottom feeders right now in the SEC into a contender in the conference? We will find out. Greg says, congrats to Taylor Shoemaker for winning SEC Softball Player of the Week. She was fantastic. Taylor was incredible against Tennessee, went 500 at the plate. I believe she had a home run, which was like her 13th of the season. Was fantastic, had a couple of runs as well, helped Florida upset the Vols in one of those games there. Fantastic honor for her. I think it's the second time she's got it this season. So awesome for her. to secure that award. Text here on the text line from Daniel. Text line brought to you by B&D Electric, professional, reliable electrical service you can trust. Daniel says, "Hey, Graham, glad to hear you back over the airwaves today. Told Steve yesterday if he retires, you got to be the next man up. Any thoughts on how much Boogie's return might pull or affect others to return?" Well, first part of your honor, I'm blushing on YouTube. To be compared to a legend like Steve Russell in any way whatsoever, even if it's like we like the same food, is an honor to me. I hope Steve doesn't retire anytime soon, but of course I'd be honored to be on the airwaves as much as possible. I don't want Steve to go anywhere, but he also deserves to live his life. He's full of energy, and he's still working incredibly hard. So I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon, but I would be honored if you all would put up with me on a more consistent basis. Anytime I get a chance to host the show, be on, call in, whatever it is, talk to you all out there, I really appreciate it. I don't have the voice of Steve. If I had a little better voice, then maybe I'd be more confident in it, so I appreciate you putting up with it. Now, Boogie's return. Time to talk about the second part, the not as fun one, where I don't get to talk about myself. Boogie's return, could it pull or affect others to return? I don't think it will impact Thomas Houck and Alex Condon's decision, Ruben Chinilu's decision. I don't think so. Now, is it possible? I can't rule it out. But I do think that they have a chance to make life-changing money. Not that they can't make that at Florida in NIL, but they have a chance to go to the NBA, make life-changing money. I think their decisions will be based solely off of that, including conversations with their family, rather than what Boogie Flan is doing. This is a decision that is going to benefit Florida, but it's also going to benefit Boogie Flan because he has a chance to now solidify his draft stock. And when I say solidify, I mean actually get a solid chance to make it in the NBA. When he was considered to be a potential first-round pick less than a year ago, would probably have gone undrafted if he had entered the draft after this year. So he has a chance to come back to Florida and prove that he is a better offensive player than he displayed this past season. Incredible defensive player. And I know people say all the time, well, they don't play defense in the NBA. Yeah, they do. There's a premium for guys who play defense in the NBA. If you look at a guy like Darius Acuff Jr., the biggest knock on him is that he is, I'll be honest, a horrid defender. If he had Boogie Flan's defense with his offensive game, he'd be the number one pick in the draft. I don't care if A.J. DeBonsa or Cameron Boozer's in there as well. If you had Darius Acuff's offensive game with Boogie Flan's defense, that is a top pick in my mind. So if Boogie continues to improve his offensive game, he's got a great mid-range jumper, needs to improve the three-point shooting. If he does that, he's going to get drafted. And we're going to see him attempt to do it next year in Gainesville. That's going to wrap up hour one for us here on WRUF. Sports Scene will be back after this break. Again, appreciate Southeast Car Agency for fueling the show, for Quality Plumbing, for sponsoring the first hour of the show. Send us your texts, calls. They don't have to be complimentary to me. And we'll be right back after this break.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
Sure, seasons change, and that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too. And for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and The Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Sports Scene on WRUF. I am Graham Hall. Steve Russell headed up to Fayetteville, as are the Florida baseball and softball teams looking to beat the Razorbacks this weekend. Pro Day is underway here in Gainesville, wrapping up around 2 o'clock. Guys looking to improve their stock in front of 68 pro scouts representing all 32 NFL teams. A lot going on in Gainesville. Exit meetings happening. Roster decisions happening for Florida men's basketball behind the scenes. Tammy Reese getting to work here in Gainesville. We talked about her Tuesday. And a really impressive introductory press conference from her. Going to hit the ground running. She's going to be out there in the community. You're going to see Tammy Reese out there trying to get people to games, trying to build the brand, make people come to games. She understands the task. Was really impressed with her on Tuesday. Again, thank you to Southeast Car Agency for fueling this show. I am live from the Gator Trim Light Studio here on the campus of University of Florida. Getting a lot of texts, questions, calls, Facebook Live questions brought to you by Ruse Ogra State Farm. YouTube questions brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, serving our community for 90 years. Phone lines are open. We got a couple people waiting here. You can call in at 352-392-8255. We're going to hop on the line and talk to Vernard. How are you doing today, Vernard?
Hey, man, I'm doing fine. Well, son, like last time you came out of break, I heard a little Nelly. I feel like Zach Alberti may have a little influence on you. Was that a little Nelly I heard, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a fan of it. Zach and I both went to Gainesville High School, so we got similar taste.
Oh, okay.
I don't get on the mic like him, though.
Zach, I don't know. I ain't know you roll like that. I know Zach kind of do a little freestyling every now and then. Hey, but hey, this basketball situation, I'm in and out, man. I'm at work. Did I hear you say that Boogie Flan is coming back?
Boogie Flan is coming back. He announced his return less than an hour ago.
Okay, so he seemed to come along much better in the season as the ball was put in his hands as the point guard. It seems like there was some indecision about who's going to have the ball, Boogie Flan or Xavier Lee. Okay, you got your point guard. This is one of the problems with the team this year. Boogie Flan is coming back. You mentioned this Dedan Thomas. How tall is Dedan Thomas?
Oh, that's a good question. I think he's like 6'3". I mean,
Okay.
Boogie probably is a little bit taller than him.
Florida doesn't need to go this route. This happened like they were too small in the back court with Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee. Denzine Aberdeen, 6'4", 6'5", would have looked good in the back court. If Boogie is coming back, you need another 6'4", 6'5" off guard that can play off the ball. You don't need to have another small. I thought that they were susceptible to getting bullied and bite down against more physical big guards. So that, to me, that should be the goal, to go out and get a 6'4", 6'5" guy. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. Charlie has informed me, our fantastic producer, that Dedan is only 6'1". So your argument that he's too small, yeah, that's, and he averaged 6.5 assists per game. So a guy who needs the ball in his hands a lot, you got to go out there and get like a true scorer, right?
Unless he's willing to come off the bench, and a guy of that caliber is not coming to a school to come off the bench. Another thing, I think, Thomas Houck going in 15, 16. I think that based on that projection, Thomas is probably gone. But to be honest, if you sit down and be real, these other guys got some serious decisions on them to make. I think Kenyon Lewis needs to come back. I thought that even before his last game. He's 6'10". They in the NBA now. That guy, his side is stepping out, hitting the 3-point shot, taking the 3-point shot, and I don't. Alex Conda wants to get proof that he's a first rounder. I don't know. His best bet may be to come back to Florida. I heard yesterday Steve interviewed Seth Greenberg, and he said Florida, because of that run last year, they got in the portal late, and they were not able to address some of the areas they needed help with. And I wish Steve would have followed up. I would wonder with Seth Greenberg, what areas did he see that Florida didn't address that he felt they were weak in this past year? Do you have an inkling on that? I'm just curious.
I think it's a little revisionist history. I mean, Seth could be right, but Florida landed 2 top 35 guards in Boogie and Xavier. I mean, yeah, they had a slow start, but they also had a national championship to sell working in their favor. I mean, it's hard for me to think. Maybe they could get another bench contributor, but they were still 8 deep this past season. So we'll see. They have more time. They're going to have more vacancies here. Bernard, I got to get to a couple more calls. I appreciate you, my guy. We're about to take this quick break real here, but I want to get Top Jimmy's call. Thank you for calling in, Bernard. Top Jimmy, how you doing? You were on with Sports Scene, WRUF.
Hey, Graham. Good afternoon, sir.
I'm doing great. You doing all right?
Doing well. Curious as to MLB's opening of the season. I know it was the Yankees and Giants last night. I know the Rays are playing the Cardinals. Is it all interleague play opening the Major League Baseball season this year? Is that something, or did I miss something along the way? Because I was under the impression that typically they open the Major League Baseball season with teams playing within their league, within their.
I am not sure
division, but I noticed that there's a lot of interleague matchups going on to open the Major League season. I was just curious if you knew that there was anything specifically they had done to encourage that or initiate it.
I don't know. I think that this is a new thing that they're doing. I saw this article yesterday that this was the first time that opening night had a standalone season opener, that it was an interleague game. It was also the first time that it was on Netflix,
really?
and I don't know how true that is.
I was going to say
maybe that's wrong.
I was going to say, and they set it up to put it on Netflix. That's what that's part of the. I was going to get to that, but you beat me to the punch on that. All right. Well, hey, it's opening day, baby, and that's what matters. Officially, I'm going to christen myself the streak breaker. I'm going to give myself the streak curse.
Okay.
Recently, I spoke with Steve yesterday in regard to the OKC streak. I don't know if his Knicks played last night, but they're on a little bit of a heater. And every time I call about things like that, the teams lose, like either that night or the next night. So
you're hurting me. I got to let you know. I came in here in pain, and I don't do a lot of sports betting. If I bet on sports, it's going to be like a pro league, nothing I could ever have connection to. But I put in a $1.30 parlay yesterday, 11 legs. The only one that didn't hit was OKC and Boston Celtics,
losing
plus
to the Celtics
62,000 odds. I was devastated. I was devastated, and I stayed up late too, so I'm dragging this morning.
How much would that have paid you on a $1.30 bet?
It would only been like I think $1,400 for $1.30.
Well, for risking $1.30, $1.30, man.
Right? Half you got a third of tank of gas now, maybe a fourth of tank of gas now. Not to get.
I'm a big fan of parlays, and I don't have a current account, but I'm getting ready to reestablish one.
Get ready to be hurt.
Sweet 16 picks. What you got for tonight, and what do you think for going forward?
Is Arizona playing Alabama tonight? That's the one that really intrigues me.
Arizona's Arkansas.
Arkansas. I'm sorry. They all run together to me.
And Alabama plays Michigan, but I think Alabama-Michigan game's tomorrow night. Arizona, Arkansas is tonight.
You know, I'm a little bit. I think Alabama is going to play some of these teams close. I don't know what it is, but the way they're playing right now, I was really down on Alabama a few months ago. I mean, especially with the whole Charles Bediako situation.
Yeah.
I think so. Remember, Todd Golden said a couple weeks ago that no one wants to play Texas in March. That he didn't want to run into that team. And I think they're going to give Purdue a game today. And
I agree with you on all three of those assertions because, but I honestly I have Alabama I have Arizona picked in my bracket to win it. I didn't pick the Gators because I foresaw them potentially either losing to Iowa or Nebraska.
Oof.
And we already know the result. We already know the result of that. And I know you're coming up against the break. Your opinion on the final two plays of I know this is like 4 days removed, but your opinion on the final two plays of the Iowa-Florida game on Sunday. Both Iowa's possession and Florida's possession, and I'll take the rest off the air so you can get to your break, man.
Appreciate it, Top Jimmy. I think that there were some questionable things that if Florida, and not to say that they were the wrong decisions, but I think that if they could have done it over again, maybe they'd make a different decision. The full court press, I understand. At first I was critical of it because I thought that maybe they should have just been defending in the half court, but then I see Todd Golden's statement that they would have fouled in that situation, send a poor free throw shooter to the line up to attempt to either only let them tie the game or you take a 1 point lead and force Iowa to foul. So the best way to foul in that situation is full court press. They just couldn't foul. So I think that was the right decision if that was their intention to foul, which by all indications that's what it was. I would hesitate to put the blame for anyone out there on Xavier Lee for the final play. I don't think it was all on him. I think that, and this is just guessing, that there was supposed to be a screener on the right that would have freed him up. That didn't happen, so he gets doubled and has to go baseline and make a pass to Thomas Houck, and time ran out, and it was no one's fault. Sometimes you just get beat. I give Iowa credit. But I think if they could do it over again, they would have, knowing what they know now, they would have done things a little bit differently. Now, that's true for every coach. I'm not trying to admonish a guy like Todd Golden or the coaching staff. Who am I to criticize Todd Golden, a national championship winning head coach? But I think they would have maybe considered something a little bit different. Again, not saying they made the wrong call, just knowing that it didn't work out and how Iowa defended it, they probably do something a little bit different. We're going to take this first break. When we come back, Greg, we're going to get your call. Don't go anywhere. You were listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Kara Rowley. The wins just keep rolling in for Florida softball. Last night, the Gators beat Stetson 3-2, putting them at a strong 32-2 record for the season so far. After a narrow win, Jocelyn Erickson said shutting down opponents happens from the team's grit.
We are gritty and we can fight, and when close games like tonight in the 7th inning, we know how to get the job done and shut it down. And it's something that maybe hasn't really happened in the past that I've really been excited about for this season.
Tomorrow night, softball returns against Arkansas at 7. You can listen online at WRUF. And coming off a big win against number 10 FSU, Florida baseball kicks off their series tomorrow night against number 4 Arkansas. First pitch is at 7, and you can listen right here on WRUF. And today at home, Florida women's tennis will meet Alabama in an SEC showdown. The match starts at 5 at Alfred Ring Tennis Complex.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida, and now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Sure, seasons change. And that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too. And for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Hey, it's Jeff Cardozo. Your only home for Gator Baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2. Your home for Gator Sports.
Welcome back to Sports Scene on WRUF, fueled by Southeast Car Agency. I am Graham Hall, live in the Gator Trimlight studio. Steve Russell is on the way to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Probably boarding a plane right now as we speak. Wish him and Florida baseball and softball and Jeff Cardozo, the irreplaceable Jeff, safe travels up there. Big weekend. You can call us, text us, YouTube, Facebook. We really appreciate Gator Domino's sponsoring the second hour of the show. There's a Domino's pizza right in your neighborhood. I guarantee there is. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late night cravings. No one delivers like Domino's. www.gatordomino's.com. We're going to go back to the Titan MRI phone lines where Greg has been patiently waiting. Greg, you're on Sports Scene. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, Graham?
Cannot complain. Beautiful day in Gainesville. Just wish there was a little bit less pollen. But
I understand.
What are you going to do?
Quick question for you. Were you the one that was saying you weren't going to critique Coach Golden?
I guess I am saying, I mean, everyone can critique. Everyone has an opinion. But do I know more than Todd Golden on how to draw up a end game play? No. I mean, there's not many people out here who do. Can we say, since it didn't work out, that maybe they should have done something differently? Sure. But I'm not saying that I could have done it. I mean, absolutely not even close. He's a
the
genius.
Commentators after the game had thoughts about this. I agree with you about him being a genius and a tremendous coach. But at the end of the game, they were talking about how Iowa's coach outcoached him so badly. I'll just give one example of what I saw where I would support what the commentators said, which is unusual. The Gators Iowa brings the ball down. The Gators press them. I heard what you said about the press. Okay. They were trying to foul and didn't get it done. I don't know about all that. At any rate, the Iowa guard's coming down the court, and if you'll notice, he has a man in the corner and a man at the post. The man at the post goes to the opposite post to set up the score for the guard. Well, the guy from the corner, his man came up to help. The throw came over, and the man in the corner sunk it. When the Gators had the ball and they came down the court, they broke open their best scoring guard, I think. I think you could call Lee that. They come down, and they have two men at the post, at each post. So instead of having a man out in the corner or maybe even the free throw line, they're blocking the opportunity to drive and score. And it causes the mess that happens, and they don't even get off a shot. Now, I'm not saying that's Golden's fault, but I will say the design of the play was inferior. And, it's very obvious when you watch the two, the difference that occurred just in that one sequence. There were a lot of things to say. Just real quick, I think that Boogie has an awful lot of physical ability. I'm very concerned about the idea of the Gators putting him at point guard and leaving him there. His selections at times this season were just absolutely horrible. And, they have too good of a team. They have an elite team. They have a point guard that's going to get that ball where it should go. And maybe on occasion be a scorer. But, boy, they need somebody that gets that ball to those big men and gets the ball moving into the offense because they've got a very skilled group there that plays so well. And that's my opinion for today.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I mean, Boogie did a great job of organizing Florida's offense. And he didn't make, I'm going to go ahead and call him boneheaded. He didn't make many boneheaded turnovers like Xavier Lee did. I mean, his decision-making didn't make Todd Golden and Torian Green and Carlin Hartman want to pull their hair out. He didn't commit a lot of turnovers either. I do think that his outside shooting needs to continue to improve. I'm looking at it right here. He had 55 turnovers, and Xavier Lee had 61. Thomas Houck was not turnover prone. He had 51 turnovers. Ruben Chinyelu had 52 turnovers. And Boogie has the ball in his hands a lot more than both those guys. Maybe not as much against Thomas Houck, but he didn't commit a ton of turnovers. And he averaged, 6+ assists per game? He finished the year with 121 assists. So I do think they need another guard, obviously, to complement him. I don't know if Alex Lloyd is ready to be a starting guard in the SEC, but he's got to continue to improve. But I get the criticism about him. His defense is fantastic, but he's far from a polished product. He's played a year and a half of college basketball, right? He's got to continue to improve.
Right. The question is, what kind of percentage did he shoot?
That is a tougher question to answer. He shot 24% from three, and Xavier Lee shot 29.2%. That is not good.
It wasn't very good. What about from two?
From two, he was a lot better. Boogie shot about 44.7% total from field goal percentage. So considering he shot 24% from three and about a third of his field goal attempts were from three, I think he shot roughly over 50% from field goal. I'm not a math major. I gotta get a calculator in front of me at the break and figure this out. If someone out there can tell me what the math is, I left my abacus at home. I can't figure that out right now, but was a lot better. His mid-range game was fantastic. I mean, the mid-range is kind of a dying art in college basketball. Everything now is 3 feet or three-pointer, right? And Boogie Flan takes mid-range jumpers and knocks them down, where it's no longer a low percentage shot from him. It's a high percentage shot because he's so good at it. He's great at creating space off the dribble, turning around, knocking down a turnaround mid-range jumper, which you kind of see that dying out a little bit in college basketball. And a lot of the old heads out there, I agree with them that I want to see that return and see guys do it because he's great at it.
Yeah, well, maybe that would help him quite a bit. I just saw several times where he took shots that I really wished he would have passed the ball from three-point range in particular, because it's like his judgment. I don't know. Anyway, have a great day.
Appreciate you, Greg. We are up against this next break here. Appreciate Greg's call. We're talking all things Florida, basketball, baseball, you name it. We're talking about it. Again, appreciate Gator Domino's for sponsoring this second hour of Sports Scene. Text us at 325-3777. Getting a lot of texts here. I don't want to ignore them. Absolutely. Before we take this break, Greg, I don't know if it's a different Greg, on YouTube says, "Hey, Graham, what do you think about Micah Handlogden's chances of another year at UF? I hope it happens. The NCAA needs to do the right thing. How much goodwill would they earn, too, in this era of eligibility if they give a guy, even if he doesn't fit the parameters, they give a guy an extra year because it's the right thing to do? When there's so much, I want to use the C word, crap, going on with eligibility, 6th, 7th year guys, unlimited transfers. Reward a guy who broke his leg in March and then came back for a national championship run with the team that he played for the year prior. I hope they do the right thing. If they're out there listening to Sports Scene, NCAA, do the right thing. We're going to take this break. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
The best conversations happen with Los Landeros Tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave Los Landeros Tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. I am Graham Hall, Steve Russell, headed to Fayetteville for Florida baseball. Fueled by Southeast Car Agency today. I'm live from the Gator Trim Light studio. Appreciate everyone calling in, texting, following us on YouTube. Text line questions brought to you by B&D Electric, professional, reliable electrical service you can trust. Facebook Live questions brought to you by Ruse Ogra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville, North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. YouTube questions sponsored by Campus USA Credit Union, serving our community for 90 years. You can also email us, which is sponsored by the International Diamond Center. IDC carries an assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, and fine jewelry. And we thank Gator Dominoes. Every time I thank them, I get hungry. For sponsoring the second hour of this show. We're going to go back to the Titan MRI phone lines. Titan MRI, call them for the best MRI and affordable prices. Where Rich has been waiting to talk a little baseball and NBA. Rich, you're on with Sports Scene. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well. Appreciate you taking the call. And you're right, Steve is a legend, but you're doing a real good job today.
That's kind of you
thanks.
to say.
Appreciate it.
Long way to go here.
So the Rays open up today later on about 4:15. They got Rasmussen versus Liberatore. They're going to be at St. Louis. And I think any reasonable Rays fan is probably going to admit it could be possibly a long year. They could have some decent starting pitching. I think the bullpen will be okay. But beyond Aranda, Junior, Diaz, I wonder where the offense is going to come from. So we'll find out today. And I think the thing I'm looking forward to be quite honest, is next Tuesday. Small victories. McClanahan's going to be pitching. He hasn't pitched in 2 years. He had the Tommy John surgery last year, shut him down because of the nerve issue. So that in itself will be a nice victory for the Rays. Your thoughts on their prospects for 26?
It kind of feels like a lost year for them. I hate to say it, but with the whole ballpark situation, where their roster's at, I mean, do they win 70 games? I don't know. I don't know. I think they have a chance to get started against the Cardinals tonight, right? And maybe this afternoon. That's coming up here pretty soon, right? They have a chance to get... 4:15. Hey, I love when games are on the middle of the day. Because, I mean, tonight you got... And not to change the subject here, but you got March Madness. So let's watch baseball, March Madness, NBA. These are the best days of the year, in my opinion. Let's go.
Plus the Lightning play later tonight, too, so there's a little bit of everything. No question about it.
This is validation for why people need at least one TV per room in their house. You agree, right?
That's right.
You can't be a one TV household.
Well, I do it a little different way. I'm going to have the hockey game on, and if there's a baseball game on, usually I have the radio broadcast. I'm big on radio for baseball, or maybe even the Gator game. Maybe I'll listen to Steve over the weekend. But no, you're right about the Rays. I mean, their priority is this stadium deal, and I've been living in a little bit outside of Tampa for almost 30 years. I've never thought that such a progressive area could have trouble coming to terms with building a ballpark somewhere. And you hear a little bit every once in a while, they're looking at a certain area, but then it kind of goes away for a month and a half. So there's nothing definite, as far as a ballpark. And but anyways, I'm glad baseball's back. 2 comments on 2 NBA players, just to pivot a little bit. LeBron James, super, and I'm not a Laker fan, I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm just impressed with this guy. 41 years old, still scoring over 20 points a game, still being a difference maker. He's ultra talented, always has been, but he's also one of the hardest workers out there. Just, what are your thoughts on this guy? I don't think we're ever going to see anything like this.
LeBron James is my favorite athlete. For those who don't know, I grew up a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Still a Cavs fan. Still was a fan when they were horrible in 2011. I bought a Dion Waiters jersey. I'm a huge Cavs fan. I was rooting for Sasha Pavlovich as a kid. I'm throwing out names people don't even know. I love LeBron James. The fact he's still doing it at 41, I will watch him with the Lakers. I will watch him in the Olympics. I don't care if LeBron James is playing basketball. I am watching. I don't care if he goes out and has 12 points. The fact he is even playing at 41 has passed Robert Parrish for games played. Go look at the assist numbers. People always call him selfish and stuff like this. He has more than double the assists of the majority of players who were near the scoring column. I mean, guys like Kareem and Michael Jordan, they didn't have more than 6,000 assists. LeBron James has more than 11,000 assists in his NBA career, and he's the all-time scoring leader. The money he puts into taking care of his body is incredible. He is a scandal-free athlete. Yeah, there's some funny things out there about him, like the books and all that stuff. I don't know how guys like Stephen A. Smith hate him. He is my favorite athlete. I don't think it'll ever change. I don't think we'll see anyone like him again. I respect Michael Jordan, and this could be a whole episode of Sports Scene where people debate me and tell me how wrong and crazy I am. But for me, he is my GOAT. And maybe that is a sign of how young I am. 32. turning 33 on
Right.
Sunday. And I get it, but he's my GOAT. Michael Jordan's in the top 5 conversation, certainly. But Michael Jordan, in my opinion, is not nearly as impressive of what LeBron James is doing right now. Did you see that celebration he had last night against the Pacers? He crosses up Andrew Nembhard, and then two guys fall down. I think it's Jarris Walker and maybe Siakam. I don't think it was Siakam. But he crosses up Andrew Nembhard with a little like Euro step, and then scores. And then two guys fall on the ground, and LeBron throws his hands up and points down at them like this. So much swag for a 41-year-old. I was really impressed.
It's incredible. He plays the game the right way. People talk about selfishness, but if you watch him on a regular basis, he plays the game the right way. Also want to get your comments on the guy from Denver, Jokic. I don't know who to compare him to. Triple-double average for the whole season, almost for his career. He's got the MVPs, maybe the most underrated or under-the-radar MVPs of all time, and he doesn't look like much out there. You know, he's kind of lumbering back and forth, and then all of a sudden at the end of the game, he's got 30, 12, and 15. I'll hang up and listen. Want to get your comments on that. Thanks, man. Take care.
Appreciate it, Rich. I think Jokic is incredible. Point center is a new position that hadn't existed, 20 years ago. Maybe didn't exist 10 years ago. The way he's able to space the floor, dribble, pass, shoot, he defends better than people think. He's a fantastic player. You could make an argument that he is the best player in the NBA, and I would listen to that argument. I think he's better than Luka Doncic. I think he is better than Anthony Edwards. I think he's the best player in the NBA right now. I think he has a chance to go down as one of the all-time greats. I don't think he'll be better than LeBron James. I don't think he's going to play till he's 41. He loves horses too much. He wants to be out there on the farm. But he's one of the greatest players of all time. Fantastic shooter. Great personality. I think he's awesome. So, if you're not watching the NBA, in my opinion, you're missing out. It's not for everybody. Just like soccer is not for everybody. I totally get it. But I think you're missing out. There's a lot of great players right now. And they do play defense. We're going to go to this final break here. When we come back, we're going to take Hank's call. Appreciate you being patient, Hank. But we're up against a break. You were listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Morgan Erskowski. Florida softball's bats were swinging. Last night, the Gators defeated Stetson 3-2. Catcher Jocelyn Erickson credits her team's grit to their win.
We are gritty and we can fight, and win close games like tonight in the 7th inning, we know how to get the job done and shut it down. And it's something that maybe hasn't really happened in the past that I've really been excited about for this season.
The Gators play next this Friday against Arkansas, with coverage starting at 6:40 on WRUF. Florida baseball is looking to rebound. After being swept by Alabama, the Gators face against number 4 Arkansas this weekend. Coverage starts Friday at 6:55 on WRUF. Boogie Fland is back. The starting point guard for Florida basketball has just announced he will be returning to Florida for his junior season.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
Attention local and regional CDL-A drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at PritchettTrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear?
Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
We sell more so you save more at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, $349 per month. New Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon, $239 per month. Plus, we'll beat any price from the Villages to Lake City to Jacksonville and everywhere in between. At the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing plus tax tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty subject to later approval. Together, let's drive.
When you need insurance, you'd like to get great coverage for a great rate, right? The big companies tell you they'll do, but how can you be sure? With Ann Tom's Insurance, you're not navigating coverage's choices alone. Ann Tom's is an independent agent with 35 years of experience, representing over 45 companies. Having an independent agent can make a real difference. It's that simple. Ann is local and independent. Call Ann direct, 352-727-3111. That's 352-727-3111. She can actually help.
Just after sunrise, the lake is glass. No traffic, no noise, just you, a cup of coffee, and open water. That kind of peace isn't far away. With Radiant Credit Union's flexible boat financing, competitive rates, and quick approvals, you could be on the water sooner than you think. Make some waves with a boat loan at Radiant Credit Union. But hurry, our special rates only last until March 31st. Apply today at radiantcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Staying pleasant this afternoon through the evening. We'll start out in the mid-80s around dinner time, but we'll slowly decline to the lower 60s by daybreak tomorrow. Mostly clear skies for us overnight. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, and temperatures heating up. Highs in the upper 80s across interior north central Florida. But that heat will be short-lived. A front approaches on Saturday, becoming breezy. High Saturday near 80. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. Your home for Gator sports.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. We are wrapping up what has been a beautiful Thursday episode. We appreciate everyone reaching out to us. Appreciate all our fantastic sponsors. Southeast Car Agency for fueling the show. Gator Trim Light Studio for giving us this fantastic studio we are live from right now. A lot of questions brought to you by B&D Electric today. You can text us at 352-325-3777, but you're going to have to wait until next week when Steve will be back because we are wrapping up today's episode. But we got to get Hank's call here to talk a little Xavier Lee. Hank, you're on with Sports Scene. How you doing today?
Well, first of all, we're going to talk about Xavier Lee, according to the Florida Media Guide. Not Xavier.
Well, they call him. So Todd calls him X. When
well,
he's
they call
referred
him
to
X, but we can refer to the musical instrument as an X. You know, the one that you play with the little handles. But it's not an X xylophone. It's a xylophone. And according to the Media Guide, his name is Xavier.
You're schooling me right now. I should read the Media Guide.
The Media Guide has a ton of interesting facts in it. I mean, it is packed with fun facts to know and tell about the Gators. Here's 2 fun facts to know and tell. Last year, the Gators shot 75% from the free throw line and 35% from the three-pointing arc. This year, they shot 71% from the line and 31% from the arc. Other than that, I think this year's team was better than last year's team as far as open full court play and and 2-point play. So they really overachieved because they had to overcome poor shooting at the line or mediocre shooting at the line. And I always preach free throws. It's so important. Look at what a missed free throw did in the Iowa game.
Yeah.
And I know Iowa missed a bunch of free throws too, but you can't talk about the ones the other guys missed. You got to talk about the ones that you miss. We wouldn't have won the national championship last year if Elijah Martin hadn't rebounded the second of 2 missed free throws by Alex Condon in the Texas Tech game, and put it back for a stuff. I mean, that put that game away. A lot of breaks went our way last year that didn't go our way in the Iowa game this year. And we still came back from a near double-digit lead and almost won it, and really should have won it. So I say thank you to these guys. I'm so happy that Boogie Fland is coming back. I think his commitment today is super important. It's going to give momentum for everybody else who we want to come back. And I just say thank you to the core of this team for giving us so much pleasure for the past 2 years, and keep working on those free throws.
A great take, absolutely. Got to always keep working on the free throws. That never changes. One of my favorite stats out there, or I guess you could say it's an analytic, is now something that we can quantify a good bit. It used to drive me insane when people would be like, yeah, we got unlucky. Well, I mean, okay, maybe, but maybe the other team got unlucky too. Maybe they got lucky. How would you quantify luck? A few years ago, you couldn't. Ken Pom, Pomeroy College basketball ratings, which every coach, if they're worth anything, uses. Todd Golden loves Ken Pom. Florida's luck rating out of 365 Division I teams, I'm riling him up already, was 295 out of 365. That is the worst of any of those top 5 teams. Michigan was in the top 100. Arizona was 128. Duke was the 59th luckiest team in college basketball. Houston was 212. Florida's barely cracking the top 300. So they did get unlucky. They missed shots at a higher rate than the averages of guys like Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland were a year ago. They missed more free throws than they probably should have hit. They got unlucky in many ways, so you can sit there and say that this team probably overachieved based on how lucky they got. So, hey, we got to let you go here. I appreciate it. This has been an excellent episode of Sports Scene. We appreciate everyone calling in, reaching out, texting us. Got to get to a few more texts before we wrap up here. From Andrew on the B&D Electric text line says, I was taken aback by the celebration nationwide of us losing. Do you think it's an SEC hatred or because we won last year? Even Iowa fans seem to have a deep and weirdly rooted hatred for us. Do you think their 15 minutes of fame is up? Well, let's start with the celebration. Florida had a target on their backs all season long. So that alone, everyone wants to beat the best. And that was Florida. So I think that adds to it. Let me also just say this. Todd Golden is kind of turning into a little bit of a heel, kind of like a WWE villain in a sense. I mean, kind of like Dan Hurley for other teams. It's a hate him or love him type thing. Where if he's your coach, you absolutely love him. He's working the refs. He's talking trash. His own players love him. But if you're coaching against him, you want to beat him because you're annoyed by him. So I think that's part of it as well. We'll find out if Iowa's 15 minutes of fame is up tonight when they take on Nebraska in Midwest Madness. Loser has to go back to the farm. No offense. I love farms, so anyone out there, I hope they weren't offended by that. Neo on YouTube says, any idea of what our situation would be with the bigs? I think Ruben Chinilu needs one more season at UF to work on pure scoring. I think the extra year could launch him to the bubble of the first round. I hope it happens. I think that if he can somehow become a knockdown jump shooter, then he's a guaranteed first round pick in my mind. Will that ever happen? I don't know. Carlin Hartman, when we spoke to him after the game, said that he thought he was going to be a true center, and there's nothing wrong with that in the NBA. I hope he comes back, and I hope I come back in the very near future. Had a ton of fun hanging out with you today while y'all are eating lunch. We're talking some sports. Looking forward to doing it again soon. Steve Russell will be back next week. He's in Fayetteville watching Florida baseball, hoping they get a dub. But for Graham Hall, I'll see y'all next time.
Every
Gator
pitch
Nation,
of Gator
did
baseball,
you know the UF
all
bookstore
season
located
long,
right inside the
right
University
here
of Florida's
on
Rights Union is more than just
WRUF.
textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parrish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
At Comfort Temp Heating and Air, we're proud to celebrate 40 years as your #1 local HVAC company. We offer energy-efficient solutions featuring quality products from Lennox. Whether it's new installation, system repairs, or routine maintenance, we promise to never sell you anything you don't need. Our professional and experienced technicians provide reliable service you can trust and will keep you informed throughout the entire process. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF